everyone, and happy Monday. I'm back again. I hope you had a great Monday wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope you either had a great Monday or still having a great Monday. And again, this is Love Yourself to That, or basically how to love yourself to that. And today I'm going to talk about 2 or 3 things that is on my list. So every week I talk about several, but today I'm going to talk about 2, maybe 3. Let's say, how's the time? So one thing that is really, really important is that we have to do in order to be able to love ourselves is that we have to stop comparing ourselves to others. And that happens to the best of us. That happens to all of us. But one of the most important thing, hi Karina. One of the most important thing is to just take the first step in stopping yourself to comparing ourselves to other people. And it's totally normal, again, the moment we wake up, hi guys, the moment we wake up, what do? Most of us, we check, hi baby, we check social media. And I'm saying this because I used to know this person who would look at everyone on social media, and she hated her life. She hated her life because in her mind, she made twice as much money as most of those people, but those people were traveling all the time, doing this all the time. So, and a lot of us do that, And how do we stop? I'm not saying to delete your social media profile. No. I'm saying, first of all, limit that time. Second of all, don't do it first thing in the morning. Don't go and check all your social medias, all your friends and family or whatever in the morning. And if it happens, again, because it does happen, the first thing you do, you stop yourself. And I'm always use the snap because it will snap you out of it. Stop yourself. And I want you to ask yourself, how many times have other people assumed that you are living or doing something that you're not, or you are happy while you're not, or you're sad while you're not? So that's exactly what you're doing. You're assuming that other people are having better life than you have, right? Or they are doing something that you're not doing. This is the first thing. The second thing that is really, really important is that you are you. You are unique. Exactly. Shift your perspective. And guys, if there's any question, please just type your questions and I will answer your questions. So you have to know this. You are exactly who you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to be. And when you compare yourself to other people that they're doing more, being more, having more, you're actually basically it's very self-destructive. Because again, you don't know their life, you don't have their life, as they don't have your life and know your life. And one of the most important thing, like one of the easiest thing for you to get to the mindset and the perspective that you don't need to compare yourself, is to just stop yourself and ask yourself how many times, be honest, because a lot of people look at me and think, oh, I'm so happy doing this and that. A lot of people will look at you and think a lot of stuff about you that is not true or true. I don't know. But one of the most important thing to do in order to get to the place that you truly love yourself is stop comparing yourself to other people. Another thing that I want you to do is to go out more. Go out by yourself. We all talk about self-love. A lot of us talk about self-love. But how do you love someone that you don't know? So you have to get to know yourself. You have to be able to sit by yourself, to be by yourself, to enjoy life basically by yourself. And we always, I think one good thing that came out of this whole COVID, a lot of us learned to be by ourselves more, Like, I always loved being by myself, but I found out that I truly love being by myself. And that's another thing that, I've been talking to my clients and the people that I know. A lot of them have told me that in the beginning they couldn't. But now they are so much more comfortable, going out by themselves, eating by themselves, going to a park by themselves. So take this time. For example, if you're taking public transport to work or wherever, get off 2 stations before your job and just walk, look around you. There are so many, I am guilty of it myself. So I will always use myself, and I will always be honest with you. I had so much good in my life. I was surrounded with so much beauty in my life around me, but I was so full of myself, and I was so full of hate. I was such a horrible person. And I always tell you, you manifest who you are. So if you're good, everything good will come to you. But the same things on the other side. If you're bad, if you're full of hatred, all hate will come to you. All the bad thing will come to you. And after a while, you get blinded and you don't see. And I never noticed. I hated my life. I hated everything that I had till I learned to sit by myself, and I decided that I'm going to go out and I'm going to look. Like, my idea was that I'm going to go out and I'm going to look purposefully for something beautiful. That was how blind I was, how stupid I was in my previous life. And I can never remember that day, I can never forget that day. I got out of the house. Hi, Pejman. Hi, baby. I walked out of the house that I was living in for like 3 years. And I hated everything and everyone, everything around it. And then I started walking. And then I noticed there are so many flowers there. It's so beautiful. I was living in a garden full of flowers, a lot of trees, a river, beautiful artwork, things that I would walk there every day. But again, I was so in my head and I wasn't present. And that was it. The key word is we have to be present. So every time you get to the point that you cannot see good things around you, take a couple of deep breaths and come into the present moment and just look at the window, open the door, go out and look for something beautiful, and you will see and you will find. And the more you look for it, the more it will come to you, because energy flows where attention goes. That's the rule. That's the law. So go out, spend time with yourself in the park, everywhere. You don't need to, you don't need to use money, spend money. One of my clients were telling me that I don't have a lot of money to do this and that. I personally did the same thing. Google the stuff that you can do for free in the city you're living in, and just go do it. Make a list. You don't need to do it all at once. Just make a list and do, one step at a time, one weekend at a time, and be with yourself and see how you feel. Get into because we usually think, especially women, we don't let ourselves feel, and we always think, but we're emotional creatures, and we always the line between our logical brain thinking and our soul, our heart feeling get a little bit blurred. So in order to love you, in order to understand you, you have to know you have to get to know you. And the only way you can get to know you is to spend time with yourself. Imagine if you fall in love with someone, and what do you want? What do you want to do? You want to spend time with that person that you love. I'm not talking about why you love them or why you fall in love with them, but when you fall in love, when you're in love with someone, you want to spend time with that person. So do the same thing with yourself. You are the most important thing in your life. You are the highest power in your life, and only you matters to you. And even if a lot of people accuses me of being selfish or teaching everyone of selfishness. Yes, I do teach everyone selfishness, and yes, I am selfish, because if I don't tend to self, if I don't look into myself, if I don't take care of myself, there won't be any I to give. So if you are a mother, a sister, a brother, whatever you are, and you want to give back to your family, to your community, in order to do so, you have to feel good. You have to be good, because it's all vibration, and we all take vibration. Meaning, if you don't feel good, if you do something for someone when you don't feel good, at the end, you will end up hating those people. And that's why a lot of us are trapped in this love-hate relationships. We love our parents, but we hate them because they force us to do this and this and this for them, and that's it. Instead of taking stand for ourselves, instead of saying, no, I need time for myself, to look into me, to tend to my feeling, to feel good, we will do a lot of things out of our guilt, out of despair, and then at the end we end up hating people around us, and again we end up feeling guilty for hating them. And that's one of the things that I think a lot of us are dealing with. So be selfish. It's okay to be selfish. It's really, really okay to be selfish. And the last thing I want to talk about is journaling, and this time about a gratitude journal. It's really important, because especially now, especially when we are in a hard time, when we're dealing with hardship, we always forget, our eyes become blind over the things that we have. And just get a journal, a notebook, small notebook, and write three things that you are grateful for every day, every morning, and every night. Write three things that you are grateful for, and feel it, and get to the habit of doing so. And every time you forget, every time something happens that you don't like, or you feel you're not lucky enough, or whatever we feel when we are sad or mad or heartbroken, whatever, don't linger there. Feel the feeling, but then think of those three things that you're grateful for, and change your mood, because at the end of the day, none of us can control anything that happens around us, but we can control what happens inside of us. So these are all it. Thank you for listening. And another most important thing is how to set boundaries, learn to set boundaries. And if you're interested, this Wednesday at 6 p.m. on Instagram Live, Today is my love story. By the way, Today is my love story is my ID all over social media, Facebook, Twitter. Oh, I think Twitter is Elaheh Nejat. But anyway, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, my fellow coach, my friend and a fellow coach, his name is Dickens. We always have, every Wednesday, we have a 25 to 30 minute live. This week, we're talking about boundaries. What are boundaries? What are healthy boundaries? And how to learn to set boundaries. So it would be amazing if you can join me. And that's basically it. Continue having a great Monday. I love you all very, very much. I'm Elaheh, and today is my love story. Love you all.